mad about not being there no more. Because, I mean, the studio tried to steal my Created by credit. So, like, they posted, even this week, you know, end of the year, la-da-da-da-da, and you post my show like that's your show. It's you putting the show out there, but you're also the same studio, Tyler Perry Studios, that removed my Created by credit, and I had to call the union to have them force TPS to put it back on there. So, I'm not sad that my show isn't there anymore. After season 5, it won't be there anymore. And I won't have to deal with that shady, corny kind of leadership over there that would dare. You got 16, 17 shows. I got one. Let me have credit. My contract says I get credit. Why your corny trying to steal my credit? Because you can't write like me. Yeah, I wrote the book. And I wrote the show. I wrote the pilot. I created the show. I wrote the first season. It was originally, All the Queen's Men was originally 8 episodes, 8 half-an-hour episodes. And unbeknownst to me, Boss Man went in there and added 10 or 15 minutes to each episode, writing-wise, and then wrote the 10th episode himself. And I wasn't worried right away, even though I should have been a part of that. I should have been allowed to do that because I was the writer's room for season 1. So I wrote the whole season, but as soon as he popped in, and now it's 10 one-hour episodes, and he started writing on it. So then season 2, season 3, he just showed up and said, hey, here's the next 20 episodes, and here's the next 16 after that. I didn't get a chance to contribute, so that's when it got real weird. Yeah, he was like, oh, it's this. This is the hottest thing over here. Ain't nobody checking on that show. Ain't nobody worried about that show. Ain't nobody this, that, and the other. I got to put my name on something that ain't mine. And season 2 and season 3 is when All the Queen's Men got weird and dudes started getting raped with dildos and all that weird shit. Nobody want to see that shit. Put that on your show. That's why I'm glad my show ain't there no more. Put that on Oval or Bruh or Sisters or whatever. Put that bullshit on your show. I'm glad because I don't have to deal with that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you completely change the integrity of a creation.
All right, not gonna be too long with it on this one. Christian Keys, I did not know he was from Detroit, was raised in Flint. Shout out to Flint. Really ain't met too many hoe niggas from Flint, man. Flint solid, rap scene solid. Shout out to Clarissa Shields. So he was saying that Tyler Perry basically took his stuff. Now, you know, Tyler Perry's been accused of this before. This has happened in Hollywood. I'll go over it real quick. Tyler Perry was accused, him and Terry Vaughn, I think she played Levita on the Steve Harvey show. They were known for taking that Netflix show from that lady. She had a nonprofit, her honor, I forget the name of the show. It was a really good show. Now, one thing about me, I'm open to watching different things. I'll give you an example. I watched Eternals. I was convinced to watch Eternals years ago. I couldn't do it. It was trash. The whole Backdoria stuff, I couldn't do it. You know, I watched, you know, somebody like, try Pretty Little Liars. I like the show. Try Game of Thrones. I like the show. Try, it was another one. The Walking Dead, solid. I'm still watching Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Pretty Little Liars. Try the Twilight series, you know, and I tried it and I was like, cool, it's a cool. And I know people say, oh, it's a chick flick, but I say this, you learn a lot from chick flicks. You know, you learn a lot from chick flicks, but yeah, he was accused with her stealing the show. And when you was dominated as long, check out the Music Entertainment Real and Real won't run on a playlist. And I'm not making excuses for Tyler Perry. When you was dominated as long as he is, and you don't live that life no more, where he lived in his car, you're not hungry no more. At some point, your life experience, it changes. You know, he found the lane. He tried to do something different with the movie where Daddy's Little Girls with Idris Elba in it. They didn't receive it well. They talk stuff about all Tyler Perry do is paint females in a traumatic light, which isn't true because he did Daddy Little Girls. He also did the movie about the pilots and all that. And guess what? Y'all didn't support it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did not support it. And that's one thing that we need to really have a conversation about. I might just dedicate a live stream to it. It ain't going to be popular, but Black people don't like intellectual programming. They don't. I get it from a standpoint. I'm tired of seeing black people get beaten, be slaves in movies. I'm tired. I'm not watching no more slave movies. Flat out. But y'all don't want to see intellectual things. You know, when you start talking about, Stranger Things, and people didn't really like the season because it was dialogue, it was intellectual, it made you think. Black people don't like that type of content. They like dumbed down comedy, stereotypical things. They don't like to go see stuff like Oppenheimer or stuff like The Killer of the Moonflower, or they don't like to watch stuff like Shaka Zulu, like our parents and grandparents. They don't like to watch stuff like that. They like degenerate programming or easy to digest program. When I say that, low level shit. I'm just being real with you. So when we start talking about programming, it's proven he's trying to do something else, so he found the lane. But after you've been writing for so long and doing this for so long, he ain't hungry no more. He living a totally different lifestyle. So it happens in Hollywood all the time when people's scripts get stolen. Go to the Terminator. The lady that wrote the Terminator wrote Matrix. They took it from her. Eventually, she got her money for it. But guess what? She don't even get credit for being a person that created the Matrix or created the Terminator like she should. When that movie came out, all that, the lawsuit wasn't settled. They didn't stop it. But what Christian Keys is saying, he deserves credit. He wrote a show 30 minutes long. Guess what? Tyler Perry should have came to him like, look here, we need a little bit longer. We need an hour, 40, 45 minutes. Can you write it? You need any help? He didn't need no help. So be it. You don't have to take his show. And then, he basically said, I never watched it. Queens of Men or whatever. I never watched it. I don't really watch BET. But at the end of the day, he said he started putting all that weird stuff, grape soda stuff into his programming, and he didn't appreciate that. He didn't appreciate it. So, at the end of the day, bro, we can't be stealing from our own people. We can't be doing that. They steal all our stuff all the time. They literally stole hip hop away from us. They couldn't really program R&B, and that's a real conversation that need to be had. They couldn't really control R&B and flip it like they did with rap. They couldn't do what they really want to do on R&B. So R&B is strictly, all the best R&B acts are strictly underground, and it's some amazing ones. And then the rest of R&B, they gave it to some of them white people, and they put a little pop spin on it. Hip hop, they was able to control the degrade not even degrade it, downgrade it, feminize it, and it's trash. And they, that's just what it is. But we can't be stealing our people work. They steal enough of our work. So I believe this brother, what he's saying is allegedly, but I believe this brother. And for you to create something and that's so good, that been going on for so many seasons, that's his gateway to something else. But that ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing. I know Monique was saying something, but that happens in the industry all the time. Little known, I think most people in the South know, but I Ain't Never Scared by Bone Crusher. That wasn't his song. Just think about that. A lot of Michael Jackson was accused of doing stuff like that back in the past. So it's huge throughout the industry, and people say, well, if he was so talented, like, Kanye took, Jesus Walks from Rhymefest. If he was so talented, why didn't he put his cell phone? Because he didn't want to sell his asshole. They ain't want to sell out. A lot of guys sell out, just to get in, but they ain't, a lot of dudes will draw the line at, penetration. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link tree. You can find me everywhere from X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, join the Patreon. Peace.